know, it's like different comedy, but I respect it all. Like Anchorman, you know, what Anchorman, it's like it's hilarious. You know,
right.
It's like listen, if you're going to entertain me, I don't care as long as I laugh. I'm cool.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, the second episode with that guy you went on a date with was really funny, but I hope that's not based on reality.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Every
episode that we do is based on in truth, except for episode 3. Episode 3 is not based on any experience. Well, I guess maybe actually I've known actors like that, to be honest with you. So I suppose it is based in but it never happened to me. You know, that's the only one that's sort of separate. But all the other episodes are based on they're based on something that I know. You know, episode 4 is a flashback episode to sort of explain how she got her child, right? And and Kelly Preston is our guest star in episode 4. She saw the show, and she loved it so much. She loved it. And she was like, I really want to be a part of this project. I think it's amazing. I love this comedy. It reminds me of the Larry Sanders Show, which is my favorite show. And she just went on. And so it's a flashback episode, and we've made her character, Tabitha, like the quintessential soap opera star, and actually the nemesis of Michelle. And
that's gonna be good.
And she's really great in it. And it's a longer episode, and it's just, and a few of the things are based in reality, but it's so that comes out on the 16th of September.
Oh, my gosh, we have to wait that long.
I know. We have a teaser next week.
I guess it's just like watching any other show. You got to wait week to week or every, 2 weeks when they come out. So,
well, you know what?
We'll wait.
To be honest with you, it's like I had if I had known that people would like it so much, we would have had more in the can. You know, we had from the beginning 4 written, but we didn't have them shot. And we only had 2 shot by the time we premiered the show. And our first one got over 20,000 views in 24 hours, which is like a really amazing. Yeah. It was a really amazing stat. And we are, I think right now we are 5,000 or 4,000 away from 200,000 views.
Yes, you are. I was going to mention that. I looked to see, and the numbers are just astounding.
I know. They're just
really great. Yeah, they're really, really great. So we're almost we'll probably hit 200,000 views tomorrow, cumulatively, right? And so that's a really cool thing. I mean, had I known people would like it, we would have, had it together. But after I left YNR, I took a vacation and just really wanted to spend time with my daughter, and so that kind of slowed us down a little bit. But now we're shooting one every week pretty much.
Well, it's understandable that you need to, take some personal time as well, and we will all gladly sit and wait for the next episode because, it's just that good that the anticipation makes it better for us and makes it better for you. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. All right.
Now, I have to mention, though, in that third episode, I absolutely love seeing George Guzman, and Joshua Morrow was definitely hysterical. He was way over-the-top diva. And I want to know, did you write it in, or did he just come up with calling you Francis? You deadpan face, saying, Michelle.
You know what? I know, right? In the first episode that we shot, I accidentally said Phyllis in our first episode, and I realized, oh God, we can't say Phyllis. We can't, So we tried to take it out. And anyway, we just called my character Francis because yeah, and because also I didn't want to. This is kind of a weird thing, but I didn't want to make it like about Young and the Restless. You know, it's just about it's about a soap opera, a woman who's on a soap opera named Michelle Stafford. You know, it's not about a woman who is on Young and the Restless. So, you know, I just really want to make it clear that it's like in Josh's episode, we call him that guy. I don't call him Josh. Yeah. We don't refer to Nick. It's not about Young and the Restless. And and I really, you know, because the point is I didn't want to make anybody feel like I was, you know, speaking out of school about Young and the Restless, or I didn't want to make, you know, I just didn't want to make it about Young and the Restless. You know, I just wanted to make it about a woman who's on a soap opera. And Josh actually came to me with the idea. He wrote me an email and like described this guy and was like, dude, I want to do it. And then I told, you know, the pages, the other writers, and they were like, let's do it right now. It's hilarious. Let's do it right now. So, you know, That's
I just laughed thinking about that episode. It was just way funny. And him telling George to wash his car and you going out with your hair half done and trying to get in the car away from the photographers. And, you know, it was hysterical. It really was.
Thank you. I mean, Josh was so great. There was this one part that we had to cut out that because, I don't know, for some, the way it worked, we just had to cut it out. It was sucked. And he was so hilarious in this other moment, and it just killed me that we had to cut it. But that's that's one of the things that happens. Like, I'll even see things of myself, and I'll be like, oh, that's so good, but, God, we got to cut it out. You know, it's kind of funny being on the other end now, you know, because you have to make the whole thing work, you know.
Right. Well, maybe those other pieces that you cut out, you can put into a blooper reel at the end or something.
Well, you know what? That's what we're doing. We're putting together an outtake reel and a behind-the-scenes reel now. And
good.
Yeah, we're putting it together like an hour-long outtake and bloopers reel. And Josh will be in that, and Kelly too. And then some other added stuff, because I'm like a freak. I love to watch that kind of stuff. And I know that other people do too.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
Too. I like that.
Yeah, I love that.
Now, I know Natalia wasn't on it very long, but what did she think of being on it? Did she realize what was going on?
Well, no, she didn't at first. And in episode 3, she gets it more. Like, she gets like, oh, this is something that we're going to now see on TV. And now, I get to see it on my TV because I have Apple TV and my iPad, and YouTube is connected to my Apple TV, so it actually I'll watch it on my TV. But but she's like, she kind of gets it now that she's doing something on this thing that we're putting together. But I think it's similar to kids being filmed, you know, at their graduation, and then they see it back.
Right.
You know, it's like that. You know, I don't make it any more significant than something like that.
Yeah. Well, I think she will pretty much, you know, enjoy it. I mean, this is kind of like a keepsake for her when she gets older.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
definitely.
and something that she can share with her kids down the line. I think this is wonderful.
I know, right? I know.
It's like a diary and come to life, you know.
I know.
This is me and Mom.
So sweet. So sweet to look at it like that. Yeah. Yeah.
And that'll be good for you too when when she has her kids and that. So
God, I'm afraid when she has her kids I'll be dead.
No.
When she goes to college, I'm going to be 105, for God's sake.
Oh, no.
Lord,
well, let me put it this way to you. I'm not going to say my age, but I am older than you, and I still have a 17-year-old. So, no. And I have G kids, as I call them. I don't say grandma.
You don't say grandma. Okay.
You just
did. Yeah, well, whatever.
So, but she's got enough time for that. She needs to live her life and grow up and have a happy time and experience things. So before she gets into any of that.
Yes.
Now I know that you. Yes. I know that you like to travel, and have you brought her to a lot of places?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, we've traveled all over. We've been all over together. She's been to Australia. She hasn't been to Europe yet, but we have a trip planned for November and December, and where we're going to be traveling all over, which is really exciting.
Oh, and, that's wonderful.
I know, it's really exciting. I'm so fortunate that I get to do that with my daughter. I'm so lucky. I know that.
Is she a good traveler?
She's a great traveler. Oh my, she's better than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. She is.
Where haven't you gone that you'd like to go to next?
Well, we haven't gone to Europe, but we are planning to go there. So yeah, Europe.
Yeah. Well, you went there on your own, but you haven't brought her there yet.
Yeah, but I'm going with her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
hope so.
Yeah.
And I have to bring up that you were a correspondent on Fox Sports. You're such a sports fanatic. What was it like for you?
On the Best Damn Sports Show, period, is I was their hockey correspondent.
Yeah.
And that was, oh my gosh, that was so great. Oh, I had a great time. And I pretty much bulldozed them to get that job. I mean, I just told them. I was a guest on the show, and I said, you guys don't cover hockey well. I need to be your hockey correspondent. And then one of the guys on the show said, okay, if the Ducks get to the finals, we'll let you. And so the Ducks got to the finals that year, and so I called them, and I said, okay. And then they kind of, threw me a bone. They threw me a bone, and then the producer of the show liked it so much, I was hired on the spot to do other things for them. And then they sort of changed guards into my contract with them. And then the new guy didn't really understand who was the soap opera star who was doing sports. He kind of didn't really get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't get it. And he then just didn't use me, and then it kind of went away. But it was really fun while it lasted. I had a really fun time.
Yeah, I know that you're a big hockey fanatic. Is there some other sport that you enjoy watching too?
I enjoy football. I enjoy the whole, life that goes with football. Having your friends over on Sunday and watching football and eating chips and 7-layer dip and stuff like that. I enjoy that aspect of football. If I was sitting there watching a game alone, that's not very fun. But I like football. I like all sports, actually. I have a really fun time watching all sports. But hockey is definitely my favorite sport.
And that's the only one I watch. And I know that we're rivals now, even though you were born in Chicago. But I'll let that go because you've probably been in L.A. longer than you lived here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't own Chicago because I left it 10 months.
Right.
Yeah, and I can't own it at all. It's like, I left it when I was 10 months old.
Yeah.
So, and then also, I just feel like the team that, you've got to be a homegirl. Like if I spent more time in Chicago, I would probably still be a Blackhawks fan. But but I'm a Kings fan. I mean, I started going to the Kings games when I was 18 years old. And like that's my team. That's always been my team. When they kept on losing, and then finally 2 years ago, it was pretty spectacular. I mean, really, it was spectacular to experience them winning the Stanley. And that was just like, I was just so, I can't describe it. And I think that I tweeted after I left that game, I said, I think this is what euphoria feels like. I mean, it was so incredible. So incredible.
Yeah, and I know exactly what you're talking about because when the Blackhawks won 3 years ago and then recently this year, but 3 years ago, I mean, it had been like 40-something years since they won.
I know, I remember. And that was against Philadelphia, right? That was against the Flyers. Yeah, and a friend of mine played for the Flyers.